what the fuck James is talking about. And whatever James is saying is some real heavy shit. He meant that shit that he just said, boy. Saying, what the fuck did I just miss?
Questions that I get is, where are the children, and why you call yourselves the children of the sun?
goddesses were black, not just for the African now in the civilization of the Greek. The Greek was so profoundly affected by the Africans that the goddess of chastity was a black woman, Artemis. The goddess of wisdom was a black woman, Minerva. The goddess of beauty was a black woman, Diana. And many of their great mythological figures which were critical to the vision of history, the history of the Greeks in the Odyssey. The woman who has the power to draw Odysseus and all his crew into her is Circe, who is represented as a black woman with African features on the Greek vases. The woman who helps Jason win the Golden Fleece is a black woman, Medea. The woman who marries Perseus, the Greek hero, is a
What is a lion without his pride? What is a whale without his pod? What is a monkey without his troop? What is a wolf without his pack? The answer is very simple. They are the same thing that a human being is without a tribe. Pray.
I am a genius. My ancestors were geniuses. My ancestors have made me a genius in all that I think, say, and do. I must declare myself a genius. I am a genius. Whenever I am myself, I practice my geniusness and do great things. All my thoughts, choices, and deeds must express my geniusness.
I am a genius. My decisions must always be in the best interest of myself, my family, my people, and my God. Only then will I and everyone I know that I am a genius.
I am a genius. At all times, my geniusness must reflect my culture. My geniusness must serve my God. My geniusness must make me be one in love and harmony with my family. My geniusness must protect my people. Yes, at all times I must demonstrate excellence because I am a genius. Peace, family. Yo, thank you for joining us. Right? And I'm thrilled to announce the fact that we are now releasing our first free e-course. Come and learn about Gye-Nyame journey. See some of the stuff we do. Come and join the tribe. Tribe up with us and check out the free e-course. I'm going to make sure that the URL pop up right about here. And it'll probably be somewhere in here. Check us out, family, because we are building. Come and learn about Gye-Nyame journey. And let's build together. All right, it's time for the Toast family. Come on out. Let's get it. I'm trying to be right. Daily Toast. GNJMedia. We are doing the Daily Toast.
than I thought, but hey, family, it's time for us to get started. It's time for us to go and do the folktale for grown folks. Y'all know that I come every morning with the Daily Toast because I'm trying to make sure that we remember our connection to our ancestors and we realize that we have a resource out there that we're not using. I want us to be able to build and I want us to be able to remember. right? So before we get started, I want to introduce you to a new member of our family. Y'all see it? Right? So right here, this light that you see, this blinding light right here that's going to be on for 15 hours a day is growing plants, right? I guess me and my kids is doing it, but I'm actually doing this one, right? Because I want y'all to know that this green thing that I'm talking about and us taking our health seriously, doing it. So I'm going to make a salad. We're going to have a salad right off of this motherfucker right here in about 8 weeks. About 8 weeks, we're going to be eating us a salad. Right from here. Yep, that's right. Now, on to what we need to be talking about. Right now, we are on Folk Tales for Grown Folks. So, let's get into the folk tale, all right? But I ain't going to belabor the point. Now, let me make sure y'all know that the black line is open. The black line is open. That's why I got the headphones on so I can hear you. Black lines are open. Number 614-556-4535. The black line is open. 614-556-4535. We want to get this popping off before they start limiting the signal. You already know I've been, I guess I've been exiled from YouTube and shit. Nobody responded to any of my messages or emails and shit, and GNJMedia is down. Shouts out to Mama Margarita. I see you out there, right? But y'all know we're building GNJ.media because we need to make sure we got our own outlets. And I don't know how much it's going to cost. You know what I'm saying? We got it built. We know the basic capabilities. And I'm asking people to join so that we could push it, so that I know what I'm going to be able to do. And I could be honest with y'all. I want to be very honest with y'all. I'm very upfront with y'all about what we're going to be able to do with it. I was hoping that we would be able to get at least 1,000 people on there and being able to interact, being able to upload videos and being able to stream. But it wasn't designed for that. It wasn't built for that at this point. But that does not mean that we can't take it there. With your help, we could definitely get it there. With your help, we could definitely get it there. I just want y'all to know that, right? So what we going to do, fam, we're going to go to our new scene, and we are going to make this transition over, and we're going to check out the folktale for the day. I am pulling. I don't want to shop now. You see how everybody is making money on the internet, and still, you know what I'm saying, many of us, we still don't know how to do it. Y'all need to hook up with Gye-Nyame Journey so that we gon' hook you up on the process of building up an internet business, right? We can help you. And family, don't be worried about the age. You know what I'm saying? Because for years they've been screaming the terms, content is king. Do you have content that people can use? Do you have information that people can use? It don't matter what age you are, to share this information, to share what you have. Allow us at Gye-Nyame Journey to help you do that, especially if you're a supporter. You know what I'm saying? Because we're gonna do what we gotta do. We're gonna find time, we're gonna make time, we're gonna squeeze time in so that we can make sure that you are able to not only be able to use your time, but to use the small little space that you got to make it productive. Y'all see the little space I got? Right? Very little space. But I'm trying to make this space as productive as possible. I'm trying to make every square foot of this space as productive as possible. And that means that I have to go on and make sure that I'm bringing value to you. And, we exchange. I provide you with value, you provide me with value, and we keep the cycle going. And I help some of y'all to develop the same system that Ujanomics, as Brother Philip Shock Matthews talks about. We call it the Ujamaa Circle, right? Ujamaa Network. The cycle of reciprocity. We're trying to make sure that we're able to build and we're able to help others do what it is they were born to do. Now, The name of the folktale we're doing today is coming from Aesop Fables, translated by George Fowler Thompson. The folktale today is called The Horse and the Groom. Listen close because, I'm going to be jumping around because there's a lot of other stuff that I believe that we really need to look at to kind of get an understanding of this. And y'all know that I'm old and I like to ramble. It ain't that I ramble. I like to ramble. Right? So, The Horse and the Groom. And by the way, the lines are open right now. 614-556-4535. A groom used to spend whole days in currying, combing, and rubbing down his horse. But at the same time stole his oats and sold them for his own profit. Alas, said the horse, if you really wish me to be in good condition, you should groom me less and feed me more. Now, I'm going to my favorite site. One of my favorite sites. This is called Fables of Aesop. And you can find almost all of his fables up on this site. Excellent site. And you find many different translations. I'm just upset that they beat me to it. I'm just saying. But anyway, let's go down. Let's look at it. A groom spent days grooming his horse while at the same time he stole his oats and sold them. The horse wished he would groom less and feed more. Appearances aren't everything. That is the moral of the story. Appearances aren't everything. Now, the Townsend version, we already read that one, so we won't need to do that one. Let's go to the JBR collection. A groom used to spend a whole days in curry combing and rubbing down his horse, but at the same time stole his oats and sold them for his own profit. Alas, said the horse, if you really wish me to be in good condition, you should groom me less and feed me more. JBR collection. A dishonest groom used, now, hey cat, get up out of there. Hey cat. Oh my God. This is real life here at Gye-Nyame Journey. So not only do I got to deal with the Gye-Nyame girls and Brother Cleve, I got to deal now with Wally Trump. Yes, my mom has an orange-haired cat, and I call him Wally Trump because he always looking for some shit to get into. So he just got into something that I'm going to premiere on the Adventure of Hot Tim that he should. Hey, cat, get out of there. Oh, my God. You better not piss in there. Let's just say that. A dishonest groom used regularly to sell a good half of the measure of oats that was daily allowed for a horse, the care of which was entrusted to him. He would, however, keep currying the animal for hours together to make him appear in good condition. The horse naturally resented this treatment. If you really wish me to look sleek, said he, in future give me half the currying and leave off selling half my food. I don't speak Latin, but here it is in Latin. For those that are Latin buffs and y'all want to learn some, you can learn it through the folktales. Believe me, you can do that. All right. So we got a dishonest groom. A very interesting term because we don't deal with horses anymore, we usually call a groom someone that's about to get married. But in this case, a groom is someone that's in charge of a beast of burden. Let me say that again. A groom is someone in charge of a beast of burden. Now, if he was a groom, more than likely, this horse may not even belong to him. I want y'all to think about that. This horse didn't belong to him. This horse belonged to someone who owned the horse. And usually people that own things in these times was called a master in some form of fashion, an owner in some form of fashion. This was a groom. This was somebody who took care of a beast of burden. So, ladies, y'all need to listen to this. Because you know, what is it called when you get married? You know, you got a groom. But I'm just saying, beast of burden. His job was to take care of the beast of burden. So he wanted to make sure that the horse was very presentable and the horse always looked good. But he stole half the horse's feed and sold it. But he wanted to make sure the horse looked good. But because the horse wasn't his, he had no skin in the game other than just making sure that it looked good enough so that it could fool the person that obviously owned the horse. Right? Now, let's bring this into what we need to bring. Because we ain't got to be here this long. This ain't even one of those where we got to be here long, but it's still information that will be useful to you in your life. As an individual and as for us as a group, black folks, ADOS, however you want to put it. So I'm going to take the long way around. So this morning I did a show and I called it Keep Your Eye on the Prize. Keep your eye on the prize, you know, and I rambled a little bit about that. You know, I know some of y'all get tired of it, you know. But, you know, a lot of y'all put up with the fact that Brother Hatim has good intentions. Like, I'm gonna let him ramble. He got good intentions. So, for those that don't know, Brother Hatim, as little and fragile as I am, I at one point in time played football, and I was okay. It wasn't nothing spectacular, but I was okay. But I learned a lot from being on the field and being around coaches. So when I was in high school, I ended up going to, at that time, one of the best teams in the city of my birth. And you know, I could be wrong, but one of the reasons that this team became one of the best teams in the city was because of busing. I could be wrong. You know, I'm just saying. But anyway, but I ended up going to the school. And at the same year that I went to the school, they started allowing ninth graders to play high school football. Now, you know, there was other places that was already doing that, but it was a new thing at this time. So they was bringing up young people from a middle school to be allowed to play in the middle on the high school team. And there was a young brother, man. This brother was strong as hell. And he was a running back, and he was a man-child. And one day he got on the field. Well, I mean, we practiced, and we know, you know, he was going to be able to do some great things if he had the right guidance. He was that good. And we got on the field, and I heard the coach talking to him. So they ran a play, and it was a outside play, and he got the ball and he ran to the outside. So now, those that know football, you got north to south, you got east to west. So east to west is towards the sidelines. The goal lines are north to south. So when you get the football, you're supposed to head or get north, because north is where the touchdown is. Right? Sometimes you got to go around people. Some people choose that shit. I never really chose that shit. I figured that the quickest way to any destination is a motherfucking straight line. And if you just happen to be in the way of my line, then, you know what I'm saying, I was going to try to go through your chest to get to the line. But, you know, hence I'm sitting here doing this and not playing anything else. But anyway, he was quick enough and fast enough and strong enough to do the east to west method and try to juke people. And he did an outside run, and he got about 3 yards. And the coach, walked up to him, and he said, "Man, that was an excellent run. But let me give you some suggestions." And he wasn't that polite, but I'm being polite right now. He said, "You ran 20 yards to the side. We need 20 yards towards the goal post." And he started laughing, and people start laughing and shit. But that lesson stuck in my head. You know what I'm saying? Because he got diverted from his mission, and rather than plowing and accepting the fact that he was going to get stopped for 5 yards, he was only able to get 3 yards because he was trying to run around the side rather than just going, fuck it, you ain't gonna be able to outrun everybody. Might have to run a couple people over. So go north to south, right? So he got kind of diverted from the mission, right? He kind of took his eye off the prize for the meantime, for the tactics. He was trying to use tactics to get him positioned so that he could get the end goal, rather than saying, fuck it, let's attack the immediate goal. The immediate goal is to move forward, because even if you can't still score a touchdown, if you are running back and you're able to get 3 to 5 yards every time they give you the ball, you're going to get the ball more. Because if I could give you the ball and I know that within 3 plays you're going to get me a first down, then nigga, by all means, run all day. But if you that type of back that you're going to try to juke people and you're trying to get the big run rather than being satisfied with the small ones, then cool. I'll run you every now and then because there's an opportunity. Maybe people might be tired. Maybe you might be able to outrun everybody around the outside, right? But anyway, that's just me. So, and I'm going to tie this all into the folktale, because we're talking about this horse and the groom. So today, I'm looking on the internet and I'm seeing, let me find it. Well, Blunt Talk was up. I'm seeing the Biden-Harris agenda for the African diaspora. Now, because I'm going to bring it back around, family, but we have to talk about this type of stuff. It's important that black media deals with stuff that directly deals with black people. So now, I have to go back in the past, because the reparations movement is not new by any means. I've been hearing about reparations since my college days, 89, 90. And I was one of those that be like, damn, begging for money, asking for money. And I understand when people come at us with that shit. I really do. I listened to the arguments because I had some of the same concerns that many people who talk about the whole reparations piece, and just bear with me. And a lot of these organizations are ran by elders or older people who are not really in touch with the technology of the day. So maybe 3-4 years ago, I started hearing on the internet serious talk about reparations again. But this group of young people were very internet savvy. They understood how to use Twitter. They understood how to use Facebook when they did. They understood how to use and harness the power of YouTube. And they started talking about reparations in a very forward and strong manner. And not only were they able to talk about reparations, but they were able to frame the discussion of reparations in a way that made sense, that answered a lot of the questions, because a lot of the elders that was talking about reparations were elders that were not, they were involved in the community. Don't get me wrong. They was always involved with the community. It was always working with, but the way a lot of people looked at them at that time was, you black and that crazy talk. You doing that dashiki talk. I don't want to hear that shit. You can't hold a job doing that goddamn dashiki talk. And we need to be honest about that. A lot of people was ignoring the older generation that was pushing the reparations, but the reparations was older, was even older than that. And these elders were doing the honorable thing and doing the best thing because they kept the idea of reparations alive. So I don't diss them, because I know they was there. I know the Cobras was there. I know that the other organizations have been there and have been talking about reparations for a long time. Hell, I think I might have did security for Queen Mother Moore when she came here, which is, in a sense, the godmama of the whole reparations piece in many ways, at least for the last 3 to 4 generations. The reparations piece is not new. But what was new was the access to the people, because this young generation was able to harness the power of social media. They understood the Instagrams, they understood the Twitters, they understood the Facebook, they understood the YouTubes, they understood what it meant to put up a post, they understood what it meant to inbox people, they understood how to hold the arguments and to hold their points with under 140 characters to hold people's attention. They understood all this, and they put a new fire into the whole reparations movement. This group I'm talking about is ADOS. And they catapulted the reparations argument from where it was to where it is today. And we can't deny that. Just like I won't deny what our ancestors did and what our elders are doing and what some of my contemporaries are doing now. I will not allow that to be disparaged. I will not allow what the young people are doing today, even if I don't agree with all of it. These young people have made this reparations piece because of their use of social media, because of their use of action and being able to mobilize what they have been able to do. They have put this shit front and center. So we have, once again, a rift between the old and the young. We have the old lion versus the young lion, or at least that's how it seems. But the old and the young lion want the same thing, but they might not agree on everything. I'm gonna bring it back to the folktale, and I'm gonna get out of here because obviously there's no cause or none of that. I'm gonna bring it back to the folktale. So this younger group is not only able to catapult this conversation to the politicians, but they made the conversation something that people who never thought about reparations or never heard of reparations or thought that it was silly before, they was able to present information to them over the social network that made it make sense. And the younger group was able to frame it in a way that not only people can grasp it, but people be like, I get with that shit. They framed it in a way where they put borders around it. Let me say that. They put borders around it where they say, look, this is the group that deserve reparations. Everybody else, if they get benefits from the whole reparations movement, that's cool. But this is the group that is supposed to get reparations. Now, the elders were more involved in the total black liberation movement, and that all of us, that because of the color of our skin and the oppression that we felt, need to get it. But these elders did not have access to the same information that the young people were able to get, and the young people was able to use, and the young people was able to harness. So the young people start making headway with the masses. The elders did what they did, or some of the older folks, and some of the young people that might be involved with the older movements as well started doing what they do. I'm in the middle because they both my family. We all family. Especially if we fit within it, especially those that fit within that ADOS. You know what I'm saying? Because I know some of these people are straight ADOS, and I know where some of these people's hearts are. So, fast forwarding to maybe a year ago, young people had a conference, and at the conference, they invited many politicians, and one presidential candidate that had dreams of possibly being able to get into the White House and make some differences came to the conference. Nobody else came to the conference. Nobody else took them serious. People started calling some of their tweets and stuff, calling them bots, and really being disrespectful to the young folks, and I can understand their anger, and I can understand their frustration, because those that are in my generation, we went through the same shit. And many of us have turned into the same people that we pledged that we would not turn into. We turned into elders that was blocking the way. And that's cool. That's cool. That's why somebody, like me, you know what I'm saying, has to be doing what I do. Because I want to remind some of those of you that are between 57 and 45 that some of the same shit that some of these young people is going through right now with us is the same shit that we had to go with some of the elders back then. And I want you to reflect on the fact that now you are inflicting the same shit on them that many of us was griping about back then. But I digress. Rather than getting out the way or assisting the next generation, we want to present roadblocks because we got connections. So we don't have to necessarily deal with the masses. We could deal directly with some of the politicians and shit, because some of those politicians are us. Some of those people getting in office are us, or our children, or our nieces and our nephews, and we could definitely influence them. I'm gonna bring it back to the folktale, but just ride with me, fam. Just ride with me for a second. Just roll with me, because I'm not even gonna go to the goddamn plan, because I'm gonna tell you what the plan is, right? And I'm gonna use the folktale. I'm gonna tie it into the folktale. You know what I'm saying? Because a groom is someone that takes care of a beast of burden, and I'm gonna leave it at there right now. But we're gonna get back to the folktale. Because I'm getting real pissed with this shit. So we bring it all the way up to last year. And once again, we get towards election season, and the high pressure, guilt, vote or die bullshit start flowing. Vote as if your life depended on it type shit. That's the vote or die shit that many of us went through that we said we wouldn't fall for again, right? And I'm not telling people not to vote, and because that's some whole other shit. That's for other people that are more intelligent on this shit than I am to go on and have those discussions. And when it comes down to it, ultimately, when you get behind them curtains and you push them buttons, that's up to you what you do. Just like my vote is up to me. Well, actually, don't belong to me. It belongs to my future. I'm just the steward of it, and I have to be wise with it so that I can make sure that there is a future. And we get the full court press. Now, ADOS, maybe 2 years ago, dropped on their site, in a sense, a black agenda. It wasn't even in a sense. It was a black agenda talking about black needs and black people, period. ADOS, talking about it. And, you know, you bring it up, people giggle and laugh, and they don't take it serious. You know what I'm saying? You know that motherfuckers is reading it behind the scenes. And as the presidential race heats up, the Democrats need to do something. So, you know, because they're going to have to appease the outlying black folks. Because the outlying black folks ain't just a small group of motherfuckers no more. It's a whole bunch of motherfuckers talking about, man, you got to do something for this vote. So they come out with the Lift Every Voice package, which I have to disagree with some of my contemporaries. I got to disagree with some of my brothers, and as honorable and as high thinking and as educated as you are, if you can look at that shit and tell me that shit address our needs, I have to call bullshit. Because I'm so sick of motherfuckers talking about black agendas, but then talking about lifting everybody. How is it a motherfucking black agenda when you are 45, 55, 65, 75, 85% of the fucking agenda? How is it a black agenda if it's not all black? If it's not all about you and about your group? Knowing that if your group rises, everybody else is going to be able to rise as well, because your group is the most marginalized, is the most imprisoned there is. I'm bringing it back, family. Be patient with me. I'm just an old man. I'm an old man rambling right now, and I meant to my rambling problem, and I never been shy about my rambling problem. We got to talk about this shit tonight, family. Let me make sure I get my chat up. I ain't even looked at my chat. Ain't nobody here, so I can go on the time. I go on the time. Ain't a soul here, so I go to town tonight. So Democrats bring out their Lift Every Voice. You know what I'm saying? It's connected to the Black National Anthem. It's supposed to ring harmonies of liberty in our hearts. It's supposed to bring back nostalgia of the songs that we sung when we were kids in school. But it's about lifting every voice. Not your voice. Let's go back to the past. I ain't going. You just go and talk to some of your elders about the past. Lift Every Voice plans and shit that don't address directly your issues, that don't stand directly for you. What happened to them? Now we don't want to deal with that shit, do we? We don't deal with that shit. We just want to lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven. It don't bring us no harmony. Don't bring us no peace. It don't bring us no fulfillment. It just brings us more tragedy. We need an agenda focused specifically on us and written by us, which means that any party that has a black agenda don't need to come up with the black agenda in a fucking vacuum. They need to call on the best minds that we have in our community. They need to call on people who are experienced and worked in our community that put a fucking plan together. See, we call for groups to have black agendas for us, but somehow the signal get twisted, which means that they supposed to make the black agenda. They're not supposed to make the black agenda. They're supposed to talk to black folk. They're supposed to have black folks there, and the black folks are supposed to give them the black agenda. And that's what they present to us. We went to your best. We went to individuals that are in the streets. We went to individuals that live in some of these towns. We went to the places where the water is not clean. We went to the places where the disparities are high. We went to some of those $1 million blocks that some of our elders talked about, and some of y'all probably don't even know about the $1 million blocks. And we pulled the best minds to put an agenda together for you. For you. We, for a long time, have allowed people to believe that our time and our space is not valuable, or at least valuable to us. Other people recognize, and they come in and they colonize your communities, and they colonize your time. They take your time and they use it, and they make money. They help you use your time to help build their shit rather than building your own. Build their communities rather than building your own. As a matter of fact, your space where you live is used by others to extract wealth and to take it so that they could build their own communities. That's what Lift Every Voice does for you. So for my brothers out there that's looking at Every Voice and saying that, like, for example, you talking to Ice Cube right now, because I'm trying to get over to him nice and slowly, but talking to Ice Cube and talking about the Lift Every Voice covers what you're talking about with the black agenda. It does not. It does not. And you can miss me with the big words, and you can miss me with the fuckery science and the bitchcraft, and just miss me with all that shit. It don't. Everybody is banking on, once again, the crisis vote from the black community. We always are in crisis. That don't bother y'all? We was in crisis. For every last vote, every last presidential vote is a crisis vote, and once we come through, because even if you say there was a 13-point difference in the last election with black males and females, that still means that over 80% of the black men that voted Democrat. So miss me with your fucknology and tricknology on these fucking numbers. If there's a 13% difference between how black men and black women vote, that still means that a high 80% of black men voted for the Democrat. So how have black men or black people in any way shown disloyalty to a party that has never really showed us any true love? I'm bringing it back. So we got to lift every voice and sing plan that addresses everybody's needs. I mean, hell, they got immigration in there, prison reform, nothing that, in a sense, specifically deals with us. They don't even like saying our name. They don't even like saying black. They'll start off shit. I want y'all to watch this. They start off conversations with black, but then by the time you get to the end of the conversation, it's so watered down that, anybody can benefit from it. So, okay, lift every plan. We talked about it on our show. So later on down the line, we got the Great Pumpkin. He brings out this platinum plan. Obviously, he has absolutely nobody that has any relationship with anybody black to really understand the racial implications of calling a plan that you're going to do for black people the platinum plan. Why not just call it the black plan, Great Pumpkin? Well, I mean, you're supposed to be such a good negotiator. You don't go into negotiations with people by insulting them. The platinum plan. You've been hanging around rappers too goddamn long. But anyway, so now we got the lift every voice plan that don't serve our interests. We got the platinum plan that don't serve our interests. Then we got the ADOS black agenda that everybody's ignoring. Then Ice Cube brings up a black agenda, and he is pulled up into the center of all this shit. Democrats say, hey, we want to talk about your plan, but we want to talk to you about your plan after the election. That's like a John going up to a hooker and being like, hey, can I pay you after sex? That's a no-no. Then you got one that say, hey, we want to talk to you about your plan right now. And Ice Cube has discussions. And all of a sudden, Ice Cube is thrown out. But, once again, the ADOS piece is totally marginalized. These people have been pushing shit. And when you hear Ice Cube talk, Ice Cube is using ADOS talking points. When you hear Diddy talking, he's using ADOS talking points. And ADOS talking points are grounded in data as well as grounded in information prior to even old ADOS existing. But nobody wants to bring all this shit together and really understand this shit. So now what we got, once again, is the same old game going on, divide and conquer. So now, let's bring it up to right now. And I want to be very clear about this, right? Joe Biden drops the plan that you got sitting on. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris dropped this plan that you got right here. Why? Because they know that there is a rift between the ADOS community and what is called the Pan-Africanist, or those that believe that everybody black should be getting something. They know that there's a rift there. So what does the Democrats do? Rather than saying, look, let's just drop a plan called a black agenda. Let's get these experts. Let's actually get, let's call on the Gray Cars. Let's call on the Dr. Darities. Let's call on all these people that's talking about this. Let's bring them together. Let's hammer out a plan, and let's pledge that we're going to stand on this plan. And within the first 100 days, after y'all help us get in, we are going to do A, B, C, and D. Nobody want to do that. No, what they do is they bring out a plan that's called the Biden-Harris agenda for the African diaspora. Family, don't be fooled by this shit. This is an immigrant plan. It's not a black plan. It's an immigrant plan. Because in there, when you start going through it and you start reading and you start running into the language that everybody falls up under, it's not for you. It's not for you. is designed to split and to take advantage of the little political rift that exists in our community, playing the elders against the youngers, the elders against the warriors. And a lot of y'all gonna fall for that shit. But I've been through it before. And white folks, West Asians, y'all need to get y'all tricks together. Democrats, you need to get your shit together. Right? Because they got it on here. Biden here, statement by Vice President Joe Biden. Joe, you keep fucking with us, you will remain Vice President for the rest of your motherfucking life. This shit is insulting. And even in that plan, you can't even just focus it on, this is an immigrant plan. It's not a black plan. It don't address our issues. Talk to us. That's all people have been saying. You want to go into the White House? Talk to us. What are you going to give us in the first 90 days of your administration to prove your seriousness? Talk to us. Right? You don't have to worry about different languages when you're dealing with ADOS, because most of us can only speak English because this is all the fuck we know. Our culture influences the world's culture. You want the office? Talk to us. Rather than being the groom who just wants us to look nice, but you're selling our oats. You're giving our oats, a little bit of oats to them over there, to them over there, to them over there, and then you coming back to us and you're brushing us and you're trying to make us look good and we're starving. I'm so sick of the games. I'm 52. I'm so sick of the fucking games. Right? You know what I'm saying? I'm still having arguments with some of my contemporaries about y'all begging for money. And it ain't begging. And they don't call it begging when you motherfuckers come up and take taxes out of every last motherfucking check that I have received in my entire life. And I'm begging. I have people who can actually look at me and say, I'm leaving. If I don't like, I can leave. I ain't got nowhere to go. My kids got somewhere to go. My wife got somewhere to go. But I am home. This is all I know. My dad's buried here. My grandma's buried here. My grandfather's buried here. My great-grandmothers and grandfathers are buried here. And in many cases, their parents are buried here. I'm damn near 7 generations deep here. So where the fuck else can I go? I don't have an escape strategy. I am sitting here with my back against the wall and I have to fight. So if Democrats or the Republicans want anything from us, we're going to have that real conversation. It ain't that hard to put it together. It ain't that hard to put it together. But y'all rather be that groom, as they said in one of the stories. Was one of the stories? They're very explicit with a dishonest groom. The Democratic and Republican parties are dishonest grooms. Because family, maybe you don't realize it, but they look at you as beast of burden. And poor West Asians, listen up. They look at you as the same way. Beast of burden. We kind of all in the same boat. Y'all got a little bit more wealth than us. They looking at you as beast of burden too. But anyway, we at the 10 o'clock hour. I've been rambling for all this time. We ain't getting no calls. But family, gonna think about it, right? The Groom. Now, but also I want to stress this, family. This can, I expanded it to kind of cover where we are. But this Groom and the horse and the groom is a story that you know what I'm saying, if you put a little bit of thought into it, you can apply it to your life to help you make better decisions as well about who you deal with and how you allow people to deal with you. Because either you could be the beast of burden, and just go and allow yourself to be groomed by somebody that really don't give a fuck about you. Or you can stand up as a man or a woman and remove yourself from that relationship. Remove yourself from the relationship. I want y'all to just think about that. Yo, this is Brother Hatim. Make sure you join us on GNJMedia. GNJMedia, right? We're trying to build it up. I'm trying to get the site to where is able to handle 1,000 people. We're trying to build our own site so that we can have our own real conversations. So I don't have to worry about getting kicked off with different shit. You know what I'm saying? Because it's going to start getting tighter. Just want y'all to know. It's going to start squeezing the noose. Right? Because it only makes sense in the direction that everything appears to be going. But anyway, make sure you join us for the Daily Toast. We'll be up tomorrow. And also tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. we will be doing Blunt Talk. We got other shows that we're working on. And I'm really looking forward to it. And, you know, anybody else out there that want help, or, you know, like I said, need a consultant. If you are a donator to Gye-Nyame Journey, of course, we're going to make it work out, right? But anybody else out there that wants a consultation, please give us a call. Let's go and put something together. You know, we can help you build your blog. We can help you build your streaming platform. We can help you do your podcast. You know what I'm saying? Help you put your podcast stuff together. Yeah, I'm kind of really pissed off at this point in time, because I'm really feeling betrayed, not by the Democratic Party, not by the Republican Party, but by those that are in leadership, that have been so straightforward about. I mean, we haven't left room for any type of discussion or any type of negotiation. Many of us have already thrown in and fell for the rhetoric that anything but Trump. We done thrown in, you know, to this. And I'm not saying I'm not saying this to affect your vote, but I really want you to understand that this is a repeating cycle that goes on every 4 years. We always have to crisis vote, right? We have to vote as if our life depends on it all the time. Since I started voting, off and on or whatever, however you want to look at it, every vote has been a crucial, especially around the presidential election. It's crucial. So this 4-year cycle, now we get down to the last 2 years, we get down to the last year. It's crucial that you come out and vote for this person. And then in the next 4 years, it'll be a crucial one. So those of you that are young enough and you don't necessarily believe Brother Hatim, go on and do a diary. and go on and check the election dates and watch how critical each one of them comes. So you won't be able to talk business during this time because the need of everybody else is going to overshadow your needs, and the need to get out here and do and vote is always going to outdo the agenda for your group, especially if that group is black. It's time for that shit to stop. It's time for people to start moving towards us and start helping provide what we need. You know what you need? You need reparations. If you ADOS, that's what you need. Because like I said, I don't know if anybody listened to what Cube is saying, whether you agree with it or disagree with it, or whether you're listening to what Diddy is saying. Well, I would advise you to go to ADOS 101 and look at what they're saying. Because a lot of this shit was, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of this shit is fireworks. This site been up for a while. You know what I'm saying? It's sitting there, and nobody, you know what I'm saying? It don't come up with no conversations. Everybody is taking the focus off this group because nobody want to take this group seriously. Because they know that if they take this group seriously, that it will move the conversation to a whole nother level. It will take it out of the hands of some people who haven't been doing, I ain't gonna say haven't been doing anything, but they haven't been as effective with it as these young people. Elders, and nation builders. Sometimes we got to step out the way and let the warriors hit the battlefield and let them handle their business. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm 52. I can't carry on the battle like I used to. Right? Like I said, I used to like to run north-south. In football, I used to like to be able to hit a motherfucker before he hit me. You know what I'm saying? That's how I play football, right? But I can't do that shit no more. And even in my thinking, I don't have the patience to argue with motherfuckers and be as respectful with people as I would possibly have. You know, I kind of been like this for a very long time. I've been spoiled in my community. I'm spoiled. It's the elders' fault. I've been spoiled. You know what I'm saying? Say what the fuck you need to say, young man. But, you know, I do recognize order, and I do recognize when a battle might need a fresh crew, right? I do recognize when players might need to come out the game to catch their breath or get their perspective. And some of y'all elders are out of line. Some of you young people are out of line too. I'm gonna put it that way too. Some of y'all need to be pulled out the game so you can get some perspective, get your breath back, you know what I'm saying, and then we can put you back in the game. Some of y'all losing perspective. All right, this is Brother High Tim. I'm going to thank you for taking the time to watch this because nobody watching now according to what my statistics say. So y'all going to enjoy it. When y'all see it later, I'll repost it tomorrow, some shit, I don't know. But I'm saying thank you for taking the time and checking us out on Gye-Nyame Journey. I am out.
One of the most frequent questions that I get is, where are the children, and why you call yourselves the children of the sun?
women, but the most important goddesses were black. Not just for the African now, in the civilization of the Greek. The Greek was so profoundly affected by the Africans that the goddess of chastity was a black woman, Artemis. The goddess of wisdom was a black woman, Minerva. The goddess of beauty was a black woman, Diana. And many of their great mythological figures which were critical